believe.
Okay, let's play some damn chess.
Of their existence. That requires the opposite of faith. If anything, it's a simple lack of credulity.
Question number 1. If there is no God, why is there anything at all?
You know what's a serious answer? I don't know, mate. I don't have to know, because me being an atheist makes no claims to the reason for stuff. Now, that doesn't mean there aren't answers for that at relative levels of completion. But if you think my consistency of not buying your claims has anything to do with that, I don't know how to help you. Unlike far too many theists, if you told me that you don't know, I wouldn't then decide that means that some unprovable bullshit thing that I made up gets to be true. Because any answer is better than no answer. No answer is way better than a wrong one. End of story.
This is another angle on
Amen.
where it come from without a creator. If you want to say, well, the Big Bang, great, I'll go for Big Bang. But God lit the fuse, God set it all in motion.
Is he not even going to do the, well, where Big Bang do from? Although, he still has an answer to slide in there. That again is an answer that you don't just get to put there because you want it to go there. You know, you have to actually prove things if you want others to accept them. Well, you know, others who aren't complete idiots.
Where did your Big Bang come from?
Okay, never mind. And again, I don't know doesn't change shit as usual, but that doesn't mean there aren't answers. Answers that function within a world that contains atheism. For starters, the Big Bang is not the first step of the universe. The maths traces back to what we call the singularity, which appears to be an energy or matter or whatever. And then before that, who knows? There's a lot of speculation, but there are many things that it could be. And I'm happy to admit that it could even be Magic Man, God or otherwise. But it also could be previous universe or some object making object. That doesn't hurt me, whatever it turns out to be. Personally, I'm hoping that it turns out to be a giant chicken nugget. No, that's it. That's the explanation. Just chicken nugget. Makes sense to me, and that means it gets to be true.
Has anything ever been observed to happen without cause?
No, but has anything ever been observed to happen because a god did it though? No? Then shockingly, I don't buy your explanation. Look at that. It's almost like my atheism remains perfectly consistent.
Okay. By the way, don't bother with the where did God come from argument. God, by definition, is self-existent.
You can't just define something into existence. And I know exactly where God came from. The brains of humans. That is the only consistent explanation for the existence of any god. Human brains. That's why I keep trying to get him to come out of them. But mostly, it just seems to be all this goo.
And pre-existed this universe. In other words,
suck my dick, bitch.
When God created the universe, He created time along with it. There was no before or after at that point.
It's such a weird claim, because essentially you have this apparently infinite being who did absolutely nothing for forever, which is, you know, infinite, but somehow he was able to actually start doing anything. That's a bit of a thinker, and yet for no reason he does a universe. Cool, but what makes you think he didn't do the same shit before that? Oh right, because you're so desperate to be special.
So,
suck my dick,
that argument just doesn't do any good.
If you say so.
Second question. Where is the evidence that life could have begun without intelligent interference?
Where? Well, for starters, in the existence of life. I mean, if there is no life maker and life exists, there you go. But where exactly is the evidence that life needs an intelligent creator? Because, well, have you seen a being create life? You know, other than things banging, but that's not exactly what we're talking about here. I think we all know that. But the answer is going to be no, or yes, my book though. And that's not evidence, that's a claim.
How can matter existing and moving randomly without any volition, without any will or anything else, become what's necessary for life and then become alive?
Well, there's a lot of things that's gone into that. Essentially, as my stupid brain understands it would be various chemicals are attracted to each other, and they can form things like strands and protective shells. So the strand and the shell make a rudimentary cell that can also absorb more matter and create copies of itself. Anything that can make copies of itself is going to start making various different versions of itself, and so on and so forth, and then boom, monkeys and trees and sharks and shit. Yeah, it's a terrible explanation that I've obviously butchered, but the science is doing this, and the explanations, they hold up to fair scrutiny when they're not made by me. But even mine are a lot better than... There was this guy, right, who for no reason decided to everything, and now he really cares if you touch your cock. It's a bit weird when you put it like that.
So, take a good look at that. Tell me what you think.
A good look at what? All you said was, where do I have life? And I don't remember if you said it, but I know that you assumed God
fucking damn it.
Here's the thing about assuming. Say it with me now. It makes you sound like a big dumb who doesn't know shit. Also ass. And I think that's a lesson to us all.
Question 3.
Bitch.
How can evolution explain features of irreducible complexity apart from intelligent intervention?
Well, that one's simple. There is no irreducible complexity in biology. Show me the creature that has exactly what it needs to exist. It likely doesn't exist because everything is based on iteration, and the thing about iteration is some shit inevitably gets left in. And if you think humans are irreducibly complex, you clearly haven't opened enough of them up. I mean, look at this shit. You really think this thing is necessary? I mean, this guy clearly getting along fine without his brain, if he ever even had one in the first place.
And what I'm talking
are irreducibly complex. You clearly haven't opened enough of them up. I mean, look at this shit. You really think this thing is necessary? I mean, this guy clearly getting along fine without his brain, if he ever even had one in the first place.
And what I'm talking about is features that we see in creatures today, such as wings. Wings on birds. Birds supposedly evolved from reptiles, and those wings before this evolution were legs, forelimbs, arms, whatever you might want to call that.
You think bird wings are irreducibly complex? What are you talking about? Humans have created functional wings that are far less complex than birds.
Put your whore in
Don't tell me that birds wouldn't be way better like this. Exactly.
You slut that stuff.
You need to be able to say and demonstrate that each stage that was necessary in their steps of evolving these wings was a benefit to that creature all along the way. In other words,
I mean, I still don't have to prove shit, but yeah, the steps from arm to wing are conceptually rather simple. A creature with some amount of extra mass on its arms or legs is likely to be able to do things that other creatures can't. I mean, look at the flying squirrel, for example. That's just skin flaps. The squirrels with more than the ones who don't, so are more successful.
Kiss that whore
their
goodbye.
flight time will likely improve.
Kiss that
They
whore
start
goodbye.
flapping, and that extends the flight time even further.
That whore, that whore, that whore, that whore.
Exponentially. I think you can see how this, if left for long enough, could develop into a form of primitive
Sucker.
flight. And
You
so
throw
on.
for that like a
This
sack of
really
bitch
isn't
and
that
ton of shit.
complicated.
this creature whose legs began to be wings would have become less worthwhile as legs. How is he more survivable than a creature that experienced no change and has perfectly good legs?
Because, right, environments change, dumbass. It's called adaptation for a reason. That's the problem with all of your assumptions, that everything stays exactly the same. The food sources never run out. The location doesn't flood, and earthquakes don't impact geography. So there's no reason for any change. Also, it doesn't account for niches. Yeah, sure, Leggy McGee can carry...
Come on, you stupid motherfucker. Come on, you stupid motherfucker. Where's the goddamn sound? Jesus fucking Christ. I fucked his. Oh!